Welcome back to Booze and Rocks. My name is David Edwards, and today I'm going to use a little bit of lemon and some homemade grenadine, and I'm going to make this, a classic Jack Rose. But first, this. So let's get into this. Now, the Jack Rose cocktail has been around for a very long time. It was originally thought to have been created by Jacob Rosenzweig, aka Bald Jack Rose. Now, Bald Jack Rose was a well-known gambler, and he was also implicated in the Rosenthal murders. However, when we skip back a few years to 1905, Frank J. Mays put an article in the National Police Gazette claiming to be Jack Rose and to be the creator of this cocktail. But we're going to skip back even a few more years to 1899, when Frank Haas served this cocktail to a reporter while he was at the Emberlane. So it does get a little murky and confusing there. But the first actual written recipe that we see comes to us from 1908 in Jack's manual. Now, that was written by Jacob Grohowski, and in it, this cocktail was 6 ingredients. But by 1914, in the manual Drinks, and that was put out by Jacob Staub, this cocktail was down to a 3-ingredient cocktail. And so what I'm going to make here is the 3-ingredient cocktail that you'll find on liquor.com or on my website very, very soon. However, one of the main ingredients for this cocktail originally is Applejack. Now, I don't have access to Applejack, and Applejack is also known as Jersey Lightning. So what is Jersey Lightning, you ask? Well, we're going to take a hard cider, we're going to put that cask outside in the middle of winter, and as it freezes, we're going to scoop the ice crystals out, and that'll pull most of the water out. What you get is a more potent version of the alcoholic cider that's a bit more syrupy, a bit thicker, and sometimes kind of toxic. So I'm glad we're using something slightly different now. If you didn't have access to Applejack, what you can use is you can use Calvados, which of course is an Apple Brandy, and that's a French equivalent. What I'm going to use today, of course, is Apple Brandy from the Gagetown Distillery and Cidery, which is outside of Canadian Forces Gagetown. So the first thing I need is my shaking glass. And I need 1.5 ounces of this Apple Brandy that I'm going to use. And I've never tried this, so we get a really, really good nifty try to try something that's Canadian, and it's going to be an interesting taste. So let's see what we get here. Oh, smells good. It doesn't give you the straight brandy smell that you'd normally get. Oh, that's good. That's floral. That's appley. Oh, that's going to be, well, this is going to be good. So I need 1.5 ounces or 45 milliliters of this brandy. Now, the next thing that we will use, of course, will be a little bit of grenadine. And what I'm using here is a homemade grenadine. And the differences that you can tell if you look at a Rose's grenadine is it's much redder in color, okay? And this is a simple grenadine that I'm going to put the ingredients down in the description below just so that you can make your own. And this is a simplified version of how to make it. So I need 1/2 ounce of this. But we're almost done. Being 3 ingredients, of course, we need a little bit of lemon juice, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chop the lemon once I learn how to use a knife. And we need 3/4 of an ounce. Now, 3/4 of an ounce, of course, works out to 22.5 milliliters. Looking nice, looking simple. It's giving me a nice rose-colored look, almost the same color as the actual grenadine. And look, I got a scoop. So we're gonna add some ice. We're gonna add some more ice. Apparently I don't know how to use a scoop, which that's fine. And we're gonna shake this for 10 to 15 seconds. Oh yes, look at that. So what we're gonna do, slide all this over here. We're gonna use a nice little coupe glass, and we're going to double strain this. If I can operate this. Now we're going to garnish this. And what we're going to do is we're going to use our Y pillar and we're going to put a lemon twist in here. So So give ourselves a nice long swath of lemon here. We're gonna give it a bit of a expressing over the glass. Now I'm just going to make it nice and tidy and clean looking and sharp and cultured, sophisticated and suave. Unlike me, who's more of a barbarian and kind of grumpy and angry most of the time. There you go. Take a look at that. That is the Jack Rose. Let's give it a bit of a smell. Smells good. You immediately get, of course, these citrus notes from the lemon directly here, but you get a bit of the brandy smell, just a little bit. You smell a little bit of lemon and nothing really of the grenadine. Let's give it a try. Ooh, that's nice. It's a little sweet and a little tart at the same time. This is where the homemade grenadine really shines through. It's actually quite nice, and it's nice, sophisticated, clean looking color. Oh yes. An easy after dinner cocktail. Oh yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the ingredients and the method of how to make this specific cocktail down in the description down below. I'm also going to put the method and ingredients of how to make the homemade grenadine down below as well for you. But if this is your first time to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell notification. That way, every time I put up a new video, you will be notified. But if you don't like an excellent classic cocktail, hit the thumbs down button twice. And we'll see you next time. And some homemade grenadine, and I'm gonna make this, the Jack Rose, and my garnish fell off, which involved Bald Jack Rose, who also went by the name of, never mind, I want to hit stop. The Jack Rose is one of those classic cocktails that's really, the Jack Rose is one of those classics
Cocktail?
Yeah, hit stop.